Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. No matter where you are, how you're tuned in, I appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. In San Francisco, reporting to training camp today, and there is a lot to discuss here on the show as 49ers news is popping. Before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we're giving you Niners updates every single day right here on this channel that are insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking, that involves you, the fan, the faithful. So hit that sub button, join the largest Niners channel covering this team every single day here on YouTube. As you can see here to my right, we are approaching 135,000 subscribers. Of course, the story of the day, Brandon Aiyuk is reporting to Niners training camp. Will he hold in? We'll certainly see about that, but he is reporting to training camp, so he's not going to be subjected to getting fined by the Niners. General Manager John Lynch, head coach Kyle Shanahan holding a news conference today, and John Lynch said, "We want Aiyuk to be a Niner." Here's a direct quote from the man calling the shots. "We've had great communication. We started this process really early. We made it a priority to try to get it done. We've had excellent communication throughout it. Really don't want to characterize that we haven't been able to complete the contract, and that's a shame. Brandon is a big part of our team, and we expect that he will be this year." Obviously, a takeaway from that quote, John Lynch saying Brandon Aiyuk is a part of this team this year. But the big looming question, can the Niners and Aiyuk and his camp come to an agreement on a long-term contract extension so that Aiyuk is a member of this team, not just for the 2024 season, but beyond? Another storyline and another question that people have, could Aiyuk still get traded? John Lynch did not shoot that down. He said, no absolutes. We fully intend on Brandon being a Niner moving forward. We're always open to listening to things, but we expect Brandon to be an integral part of our team like he has been, and we're excited about that. You compare what John Lynch said about Aiyuk today to what he said this time last year about Nick Bosa. He said, we're not trading Nick Bosa. We're not entertaining any calls. He left the door open for an Aiyuk trade to happen. Do I think it's going to come to fruition? No. I think that the Niners and Aiyuk will get a deal done, but John Lynch is not ruling it out. Also a common question. Here we are on July 23rd. The Niners have not signed Aiyuk, and you look at what has happened in the previous 4 off seasons with George Kittle, Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel, and Nick Bosa. It's always taken the Niners, as compared to other teams in the NFL, a long time to sign their own players. Why does it take so long for San Francisco to hand out extensions? Here's what Lynch said about that. We've had a lot of really talented players and put our track record against anybody in terms of getting players signed. I wish it could happen quicker, but I'm proud of our record in keeping most of our elite talent. He makes a fair point there, but in turn, I think that the Niners have cost themselves some money by waiting as compared to other teams signing their players earlier in the process before the market explodes. We're talking some football. The Niners are at the SAP Performance Center in Santa Clara. Practice is getting underway this week. If that gets you pumped up, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Now to the second part of the show. Niners injury news. There's a lot to get to on this front. Some players will begin on PUP, the physically unable to perform list. And there's one player, the 31st overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, who will begin training camp on the non-football injury list. On the PUP list, Dre Greenlaw with his torn Achilles, Talanoa Hufanga coming off a torn ACL, and Drake Jackson coming off that knee surgery. Dre Greenlaw not expected to start the season on the active roster. He tore his Achilles in February, of course, in that Super Bowl loss against Kansas City. From the moment he went out, Niners defense struggled mightily. He was having a career game up to that point. Fred Warner even said the other day, I felt like Dre Greenlaw could have been Super Bowl MVP with the way that he was balling. He put fear into Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. Mahomes even said it on the sideline that the Chiefs have to match the Niners' physicality. And then as soon as Dre Greenlaw went out, Oren Burks came in, and he got targeted 9 times and gave up 9 catches. He is the enforcer of that Niners defense. A quick recovery to Dre Greenlaw. You can't rush that injury back. Talanoa Hufanga tearing his ACL. That injury happened in November. Will he start the season on the active roster? We'll certainly see about that. And then a big question, Drake Jackson. He has fallen out of favor with this Niners team. That's why they brought in Leonard Floyd, Yetur Gross-Matos, the injury playing a part of that. But going into the trade deadline, that's partially why San Francisco traded for Chase Young. This is a big year for Drake Jackson if he can get on the field. A couple of months ago, he posted a picture of what his knee was looking like. It looked as though he went through a pretty arduous recovery and surgery, so we'll certainly see on that front. Niners had to make moves at the edge rusher spot because of the uncertainty around him. As for PUP info, players on PUP who are placed on PUP at the beginning of camp can be removed at any time. If a player is on PUP to start the year, as in the regular season, they have to miss at least the first 4 games of the regular season. Ricky Pearsall will not begin camp on PUP. That's some good news. The bad news is he will start on the non-football injury list because of a hamstring ailment. So this means that he suffered an injury away from the facility. Luckily, it is not expected to keep him out of camp for a long time. John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan saying today, Ricky Pearsall, 31st overall pick, will miss the first 4 practices, and they're hoping that he returns on Monday. With any soft tissue injury, with an injury like a hamstring ailment, sometimes it can linger for a long time. Like I hurt my hamstring a month and a half ago. It still isn't right. So sometimes you just don't know when an athlete can come back from a soft tissue injury. Plenty more to get to here on the show. Stay tuned. More injury news and takeaways to talk about. But first, today's show, sponsored by our friends at GameTime, the best ticketing app in the marketplace. I absolutely love this app for so many reasons. Last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL tickets, or any type of event in your area. We're talking music, if you like to go to concerts, comedy shows. I love having a good laugh. If you're into theater, you can find theatrical tickets on the GameTime app. They specialize in last-minute tickets in those flash deals. What's cool about the app, you can see the view from your seat before you buy, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. And we have a great deal for the Niner gang. You use the code CHATSPORTS and you get $20 off your first purchase. You can save up to 60% off buying those last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy shows, and some of these theater events. You can save even more with exclusive in-app deals. Zone deals are also awesome. You can save even more when you choose a section and you let GameTime choose the seats. So download the GameTime app, create an account, use the code CHATSPORTS, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account, redeem the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. More injury news here. This is pretty wild. George Kittle, as we saw in the receiver docuseries, suffered a core muscle injury last year. He had to get surgery on that after the season. He lost 30 pounds. So he got down to 214 pounds. That's pretty light for him. He is now back up to his playing weight of 243 pounds. Earlier this offseason, he did document, we talk about it on the show, how hard of an injury that was to come back from, because you really can't do much if you have a core injury. It really is the center of what we do with some of these full body workouts. George Kittle, by the way, in speaking with the media in the lead up to the Olympics, wearing this glorious and beautiful USA shirt. He's always looking fresh with some nice gear. Love that he's representing America. America! F yeah! Real ones know. Players cleared to practice. It includes George Kittle, once practices got underway this week. Charvarius Mooney-Ward, also coming off a core muscle injury. And Jake Brendel, who missed mandatory minicamp and did not practice because he had knee tendonitis. When teams report the training camp, it's always fun to see them enter the practice facility, especially now. Everybody's looking tan. Everybody has a lot of excitement and exuberance. The energy levels are very high because football is back. And the Niners team account on X posting a couple of pictures today. You see Brock Purdy, big smile. I'm also a backpack guy. Swag points for Purdy rocking the backpack. He's got the shades on the top of the head. He's giving the cameras a big smile. Fred Warner looking good, best off-ball linebacker in the National Football League. That's not changing anytime soon. I think that Jair Brown's going to be able to have a monster season. Here he is, all smiles. And then Christian McCaffrey, the artistic effect of this photo. You see the sunshine coming in the background, and then right over that right shoulder, you see a ray of sunshine there. McCaffrey looking off into the distance. Also, I think rocking a very similar hat to Fred Warner there. Also the hoodie, a little bit cooler in NorCal sometimes this time of year. In other fashion news, Nick Bosa rocking a mustache. He saw Kyle Shanahan wearing that mustache at Christian McCaffrey's wedding, and he said to himself, I need to get me one of those. Oftentimes, I put a lot of this stuff on my social media pages, short-form content as well, in addition to the long-form stuff right here on the Niners Report. That's why you give me a follow. So close to 13,000 followers on X. Let's do it for Brock Purdy. And on Instagram, approaching 31,000 followers.